Talon Frost and Cruz on set. Let's begin by hearing from both on their thoughts of the game.
Yeah, I'd say we did play a lot different from when we scrimmed. I feel like we're just, to be fair, they hit a lot of nice shots, which made us scared of fighting them face to face. Like we're giving them so much space, showing so much respect, and that's what they always want. So yeah, that was not the game plan, and they just got momentum from it.
I think that's probably the worst that we've played this year. It's unfortunate to start the season this way, but it's under a meta and under comps that, we're basically not going to run anymore. So it's pretty unfortunate that most of our season is going to be on a different patch. So we have to recycle stuff from the old. It seems like, we have certain things that are recurring problems. I just think we weren't ready to play. We didn't come to play, and that team's too good. It just got punished.
Right, this question is for both of you. Walk us through what happened in both maps. The team looked less confident compared to your last game against PRX during stage 1 playoff.
No, confidence actually was not the issue. It is true that we deviated from the game plan a lot, which I think is for sure a mental thing, but it's also, integrating a new player changes things. And then, spending time on a meta that isn't going to exist beyond this game, which is so unfortunate. I do not think that PRX did anything that we didn't expect and anything different than what they have shown in the past. Certainly think that he didn't play as well, but either way, given what happened, I think there was pretty much nothing we can do. I think it was just one of those days where I think they came out banging and we didn't respond. And then, things just got out of control. And some of those teams in this league are really good, and that can happen.
To me, I feel like just on stage, I feel like some of us are like a bit nervous. I just judging from how we speak, how we talk, like after getting owned a few rounds, we just kind of lose confidence after that. And then we're doing everything slower than we normally do. Like, for example, when I call stuff, we should be like doing stuff right away, but then we're more cautious because we know we are going to get punished. And then it just cost us like space, and that's what we don't want to give them, basically.
All right, this question is for Cruz. Is there anything you feel the team needs to dramatically improve for the next few matches?
Retakes for sure. We have horrible retakes on all of the maps that we played. Our post plans was also bad. And like in terms of like swinging, I feel like we are just swinging off our own internal timing without even calming that, and then people are just taking one-on-ones without telling a teammate what we should be doing. So I think I don't know what happened, and we really need to fix that coming to the next game. Yeah.
One more question for Cruz. What are your thoughts and expectations for stage 2?
First of all, like what Frost said, that the meta is changing. We're preparing for a lot of different stuff, and we are thinking of doing something different, which means we can't really focus on all the things at the same time, right? So it's going to be like much more prep for the next upcoming weeks of how we are going to play the game, because there's going to be different patches, and I think it keeps on changing until playoffs.
All right, this question is for Coach. How has the team improved since stage 1? With today's performance, it appears there are still many works to do.
The team didn't improve. We basically added surf on every map, so we had to go back to the drawing board. We didn't improve on what we did last season. With the meta change, we're expecting to have the same success that we had last season, and that's what we're going to work towards. But yeah, no, I mean, you can't improve on the things you built when you make a change. And then also, you know, we have 3 role changes basically sometimes. And yeah, so I mean, I think it's just a matter of, you know, we need to get to the same level that we were, then build upon that, obviously, towards champs. Yeah, it was just unfortunate that we play a team today that was obviously prepared. This was a meta that they got to play extensively, even in Shanghai, and like it was just really unfortunate that you know, that's just who we had to play first.
One more question for Frost. With Pacific finally won a Masters tournament, will it make the Pacific region more competitive in your opinion? And how is your preparation to get to play Pacific playoffs?
Huh. I wonder what the Korean Mafia will say if I call them out now. Huh. Interesting. I mean, I think certainly some teams in this league are going to be better because there are specific rules that I think really help and favor some teams that are able to do things that other are not and cannot. Obviously, whenever Pacific or anyone wins, anytime your region wins, you know, fans of the game in your region, it's a matter of pride. It normally creates an environment where younger players end up playing the game more. And oftentimes those guys end up one day, you know, making it themselves and obviously making a name for themselves. And this is how you continue the legacy of like, you know, winning teams. I think the best example of this I have in my experience was what Keith Stars did in CS. And obviously everybody knows Fallen, but like, you know, people forget that like for a really long time, almost a year, you know, there was just like a little team just grinding in Brazil. And then, you know, obviously we know what the legacy is post that, right? You know, from LG to SK and, you know, so I think certainly the same thing can happen in APAC. I think winning their first FPS title is in this type of game is fantastic. And yeah, I mean, I look forward to seeing if they can win more legitimately.
All right, that's all for pre-submitted questions. We will now open up the live floor for live questions. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function to ask questions.
Yep, we'll go with Shanna of Guzo Gamers.
Okay, hello. I want to ask, what are your thoughts on the current format used for VCT Pacific when it comes to combining overall scores from both stage 1 and 2 to help teams qualify? Thanks.
I think the format did a lot of teams a disservice. For instance, take us as an example. There was a 2 and 4 team that qualified and were able to play in a bracket with two 3 and 3 teams. Meanwhile, 2 4 and 1 teams and the 5 and 0 team got to play together. Then you factor in that now, for instance, coming into this game, our perspective was we had to win every game, because even if we won out, there were chances that we would still not be able to make Worlds with a 9-1 record because of the fact that some teams had more points, depending how the season 2 playoff went. Some teams would also have tiebreak. And that got a little bit more complicated. But so certainly I will say that the format was not in our favor. And I think if we want a chance to be at Worlds, we're pretty much going to have to win out. And then we're going to have to hopefully dodge a grenade like what happened in playoff 1, which is, I'm not sure if many people know this, playoff 2 will be the same type of format where first seed advances. I think we are no longer able to get first seed based on what happened today. That means that 2 teams, I'm sorry, a total of 4 teams are going to be playing in stage 2, similar to stage 1, where it's loser go home first round. So you can have another good season. We can go 4-1 again, and then be placed against Genji and PRX. And if we can't get past those demons, it is mighty unlucky. So for one, I can only say for us, the format has not been favorable. Other teams may have different opinions. Other coaches may have different opinions. But I think win or go home after a 4-1 season and playing the other 4-1 seed when there are 3 teams below you in terms of record did us no favors.
All right, thank you.
All right, I guess that's everything for today's round. Thank you guys for joining. We'll
you.
see you next